Hello, welcome back to LCW Lights Camera Wrestling. We are back for episode 2. I am Oz the Alchemist. This is my
And I
partner.
am your girl Lola Love.
All right, let's talk about this week
We have a
because we missed two
we have a
weeks.
lot to talk about. Yeah.
Uh, honestly, this week was a little. You know what? Why don't you get us started? Let's talk about what you said. We got a lot to talk about, so you go ahead and start.
All right, man. We uh we gotta take it back. We gotta start with the Royal Rumble.
We talked about the Royal Rumble.
Did we?
We did. That was the first episode.
See, that's what happens when you're sick and you're trying to remember things. Okay, so now we have to talk about what happened the night after the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Jey Uso comes to Raw. That whole scenario. I finally was okay with accepting that he won. And I'm like, you know what? This is good. This is good for him. He deserved it. 15 years in the business. All right, cool. Now I'm on board. Now I'm happy. And he gets out there and he's eating with everybody and the crowd is going crazy. And it was his promo that literally brought me to tears. I'm a very emotional person, but that was like so touching. Like you could tell that it was just from the heart. Him just thanking everybody for being there and really trying to find your place because his family is so influential in the business and they're a bunch of heavy hitters. Like
Right.
I just want to paraphrase and just like I can only imagine having to try to chase the career of The Rock, for one. That's already, uh,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
that's
want to
something.
say, that's, that's something. Like, that's really big. That's something that you don't think you could ever fill those shoes. And then here comes Roman, and then he does it.
Okay,
So they
but
kind of gave you, I guess, a glimmer of hope a little bit, I guess, that it can be done, you know?
okay, so look, we know that The Rock is the most electrifying man in all of sports entertainment,
Facts.
and entertainment in general. But my thing is, he was big for the time for the Attitude Era. He was huge,
hmm
colossal,
hmm
and but he was only in it for like what 6 years,
Seven.
7.
Seven. Yeah.
So I mean, it was bound to happen. And if we're being honest, because I got to be honest, I kind of think that with Roman getting to where he's gotten, I think he's kind of overshadowed The Rock, at least in the wrestling space. That's just how I feel. Now, you saying that Jay has the potential to do it, I do think he has potential to do it because I think Roman already did it.
You're right. You're
Just in
right.
the wrestling space, because we know outside of that, Rock got everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I get what you're coming there. But I don't know, man. I mean, it's something about when that music hits and Rock comes out, it's an aura that he has. I believe Rock is in a box all alone by himself. The same with Roman. I believe Roman is in a box by himself. Like when the pandemic happened, we really didn't know what was going to happen with WWE. I mean, there's no fans, so it's like, they can't go to arenas. They're not traveling around. They're not, interacting with fans. Like, and we know that fan base is a big part of the business. So for Roman to create this character and pretty much just draw everybody, even people like you and I that wasn't watching it for a minute,
Yeah,
to
because I
draw.
definitely wasn't watching it during the pandemic at all.
Yeah. So to draw in the old fans and then some new fans during that time is just historic. Like he definitely turned a huge page, as Paul Heyman likes to call him, the ultimate needle mover. He did do that during that time, and it just gave fans a sense of normalcy. I want to believe because that was a hard time to kind of deal with. It's like, wait, so, I mean, they have to stay at home like us. Like, what's going to happen? Like,
Right.
it kind of, them doing that, and it just took your mind off it, even for them couple of hours every Friday, every Friday night. So, just saying that those two are definitely, they paved a big way in their, in the business and in their family in general. I honestly believe that Jay does have the potential to reach, I like to call it rock status, because he's already got the crowd behind him. I mean, the crowd gets up and put the ones up when Roman comes out, but they literally chanted for an encore for like one more time with
And
this
it has
man.
have I think
Everybody.
they've done it at least consecutively for the past 2 weeks.
Yes, yes. And it's like to see that they're chanting his name in matches that he's not even involved in. You got you got Michael Cole over here standing on top of the announce table yeeting. When does he do that for anybody's entrance to be that hype? It's like Jay right now is in his prime. He's in his rock status. So
Yeah.
it was just amazing to see that, and it was such a beautiful moment. And of course, Gunther has to come out and ruin everything. So
I'm not mad at Gunther because I've been mad at Gunther for like the past couple of months that we've been
hmm
talking, because ever since he got the world championship, and then the whole thing with Damian Priest and Finn where he lost his confidence and stuff, like I was like, who is this? Why do I want this?
yeah,
Why would I want this? But now
yeah,
him being like, "Nah, I'm finna put you through hell for 10 months." Oh, I'm definitely back in. I mean, 10 weeks. I'm finna put you through hell for 10 weeks. I'm definitely back in, because
yeah.
I don't want my villain to be a punk. Let's we gonna
I
watch
get
our
it.
words a little bit. But yeah, I don't
I
want him
get
to be
it.
a punk. So it's like, yes, I want this. This is good. I'm in that. It's back.
I feel you on that. I really do. I really believe that, I've always respected and loved Gunther. Like, he's the ultimate villain, but the man is an animal in the ring, and I love to see it. He is, if not one of the best wrestlers, period. Like, he actually wrestles like that man, nothing to play with. He's going to put you to the limit, and you're going to know why he is the ring general. Um, he definitely brings something different to the table in this aspect between him and Jay. I believe they're both going to help each other. Like, Gunther's good on the mic, but Gunther doesn't have the people.
True.
Jay has the people. And, Jay is, I love Jay, but a little mediocre, a little bit in the ring. He threw out some new moves at the Royal Rumble, and I'm glad to
Yeah,
see it, but
yeah.
he can use
He hit that
some better
poison
ring
rana.
work. Definitely, definitely. He can use, have better ring work and everything, and I believe that Gunther is going to help him achieve that.
Because
Let him.
it's definitely finna lead to him getting that title. It has to. If
It
they
has to.
if they don't give him this title at WrestleMania, he has to change his nickname.
He has to change the name. He got to take it. You've been saying this for a while. I was
Yeah,
in denial. I'm like, give him a chance, but you know what? You're right. If he does not win this, what is this for? I don't want a Cody moment. I don't want to. I didn't finish my story. I have to finish it next year. I don't want to see that. We saw that already.
exactly.
And it's like, at this point, because you're coming from this huge family, oh, you're definitely expected to win because Brock would win, Roman would win, the Wild Samoans would win. I need you to win. Your father, Rikishi, would win. I need you to win.
And at this
Okay?
point, his family's not going to get in the way. Nobody should necessarily get in the way of making this happen. Last year, it kind of made sense because we
Mm-hmm.
pushed for that whole WrestleMania match between him and Jimmy. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so
So,
that had to happen. But now there's nothing that should get in the way of him getting this title. He has the
yeah.
people. He's getting the moves that he's finally
Yeah.
needed, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's time.
Yeah, that is true. Because, like you said, last year he was on different sides, different sides of the fences. He's over here, Yeet. Jimmy's over here, no Yeet, and rocking with Roman and all of that. And it's a family divided. But like this year, I believe that there shouldn't be any interference. However, that Jacob is a slick one, man. I don't
Nah,
put anything past him. I just
nah,
don't.
nah. I can't see Jacob messing with Jay on this. He's definitely sticking on SmackDown, and he's going after Cody. And
I would.
I feel
I
like we
want
should.
to believe that.
I mean, we don't even have to go in order at this point. Let's just talk and not go in order because we could go through each show, but like let's just
Yeah.
what the cards make. Jacob is staying on SmackDown. Jacob is going for Cody's title, and Solo's behind him, obviously. But when Solo basically messed up last week, I mean on Friday,
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's pause. Let's pause real quick on that one. Because I want to bring up last Friday, not this past Friday, but last Friday, I
uh-huh.
believe, when Jacob and Jay were in the ring together.
Oh, right, right,
And
right.
the mentioning of the fact that the title has to come back to the family.
Yep.
And him addressing, we know in real life that they're cousins, but now Jacob's doing more talking on the mic. So
Yeah.
him actually addressing Jay, big cousin, yeah, you got to bring that title back. But if it was up to me, you wouldn't be the one I would choose to bring the title back. But because we're family, I'm still, I guess, rooting for you, quote unquote, to bring it back, even
See,
though I really don't like you.
see, I don't think that because if I remember correctly, that's not what he said. He said, "Yeah, the title does need to come back to our family, but you ain't the one to do it." Which is why
Hmm.
I said that he was going to go after Cody to get it himself, or he was going to put Solo back in the picture. But considering what we know now, when he was finna go beat Solo's ass, he was going to do it himself, and Solo was going to back him.
Hmm. So do you believe, and I don't know, I don't want to believe that. Remember when this was last year, Roman called the World Heavyweight Championship pretty much the number two championship.
That's
Do
true.
you think that Solo won't get involved because Jay's going after the World Heavyweight Championship and that title is indeed the number two and this one is actually the main one that we're focusing on, which is the undisputed, the WWE, is that one more superior? Like, is that the number one? Because that's the one that Roman had.
I
So,
mean, it's called the Undisputed Championship. And that's the thing that I don't necessarily like about all this with the,
hmm
two different titles on two different shows. Like, if you're going to have a world heavyweight champion, have one belt and let people, come from both shows to handle, their situation or take their shot. Because, yeah, because then you create a narrative of, oh, that's the number two title. So it doesn't really matter.
hmm
And no matter
I
who you
don't.
put it on, it doesn't. It's
Mm,
not. It might have some elevation. You might get something out of it, but then everybody's going to look at it as the number two belt.
hmm. I don't know. You know what's crazy is that when Seth Rollins had it, I never looked at it as the number two belt. I looked at the titles kind of equally, just two different champions, because Seth made it that. Seth definitely was a workhorse champion. He defended that title a lot, and he held it with pride. He held it with honor. He had a lot of opponents trying to come after him for that title. Like, case in point, Drew McIntyre. How he was like really thirsty to get that title. Say it's same as CM Punk, Damian Priest. So I don't want to look at that as like the number two. I know that with Roman being involved, it's kind of like, well, he's the top guy. Well, Seth is too. I gotta put him next to neck because I look at it like without Seth, I don't think that this version of Roman could exist. So
But, but let's also
I
take a look at like what happened at Crown Jewel. Cody won that
mhm.
match against Gunther, which kind of solidified that that's the number two belt.
I don't want to say that. I don't even want to say the belt. I'll say the person. I'm
Also,
not gonna say the belt.
what belt do you have in front of you right now?
You know what? You hush your mouth. Okay. You hush your mouth. You shush. All right. Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
So I'm still gonna get the other one. No, because no. Okay. Do you still feel the same about the women's?
That
Rhea
it
Ripley, women's world
that
champion, Liv and
see
Tiffy
that
Kine.
that's the thing. I think Rhea's belt is more important because it's
Hmm.
on Rhea.
But like I said, I believe it's the person. because when Seth had it, I didn't look at it as the number two. And then Gunther got it and he was, unbeatable, but I believe that it was Gunther that made it look
Wait,
weak because of the way that Gunther was he was losing. He was unbeatable. He was this person that had these long title reigns and he was just unstoppable, and then it turns out, wait, people can actually beat you.
okay, but think about it like this: when Seth had it, who had the other belt?
Roman.
Exactly.
But even though Roman had it, I didn't
But
look
you
at
so it's
the
like one,
world title.
so it's like 1A and 1B, like, or like they was just neck and neck.
Honestly, yes, to me, they were neck and neck. And I loved it because them in the ring, it was kind of like they matched up. I never looked at Roman as being better than Seth because Roman had an army with him. You had the bloodline. Seth was on his own doing this. He's winning matches. He's by himself. So I didn't even look at it. I looked at it, was like, wow, two old members of the Shield, they're neck and neck with this title. Like, I believe that it's the man that makes the title, honestly.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I can see someone like, I'll throw someone out. LA Knight, wonderful wrestler. He can grab this title. He will never carry the title the way that Roman carried it. Same title, different guy. The same where Cody right now is the champ. And he's good. However, he's not Roman. Like,
And,
Roman is Roman with or without the title. That's why I say it's the guy.
and the other thing is, you're right. It does it. Okay, so I guess I got to take back what I said, because it does mean that the person who has the belt makes the belt. Because
Hmm.
this whole Cody run, I ain't been feeling it, and I told you that I ain't felt it until this last Royal Rumble where he finally had an edge and he beat Kevin. So I'm like,
Yeah.
so yeah, I guess it does, because both of the titles I was like, this ain't why I'm here no more. At this point, I
Hmm.
I want to see Jacob. I want to see what he gonna do. I want to see what Jay gonna do. Like, it became
Yeah.
like I want to see specific people. I didn't care about the championships, and
Hmm.
I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if that's just me.
Hmm. I can respect that. I can respect that. Because right now, I'm at a place now I want the titles to definitely change hands. I don't, I like Cody as an underdog. Cody is cool as champ. I love it when he first got it. Every time there's a pay-per-view match, he brings it in the ring. So it's like, he's, he's lovable. I love his entrance music, his promos, especially when he's really into them, can be very emotional and moving, and the crowd loves him, and he puts on good matches. But I don't know what it is. It's something missing.
Because
I don't know what it is.
baby faces with no edge are boring, and that's what he was being. He was being a
Okay.
literal '80s baby face, because
Oh, he's in his Hulk
that's what he
Hogan
that's
era.
that's what he wanted to be, like, forever. That's why he left AEW, because they wouldn't let, like, he literally tried to be a babyface and they wouldn't let him. The crowd was like, "Nah, we're gonna boo you," like, for being a babyface. Like, he wanted to be the good guy.
And but you know what? It makes sense. I mean, his dad was a good guy, but however, Cody is a heel.
He's better as
Man,
a heel. Always
he
has
is.
been.
I really enjoyed dashing Cody Rhodes when he was that. I
That's when
liked
I
him as that.
that's when
I
I first
like when
liked
he
him.
taunts people. When he did that, when he did the Stardust in the ring, when he was in the ring with, I believe it was AJ Styles, it gave me like he just threw that in his face. I like Cody like that. The arrogancy of him holding that title as Kevin is sitting out there bleeding out. He came back to rub it in his face. I liked it. I
That's what
like
I'm
him. You're right.
saying.
I like you with an edge. Rock was a good guy, but he had an edge. I believe that, like you said, Cody is kind of in his Hulk Hogan era, and I
No,
gotta
minus
kiss
the
the
racism.
babies and all of those things. Like, nah, not what we want to see right now.
But that's the thing. Like, can you think of like good guy? Well, we know John Cena is gonna be your number one. But I'm saying, can you think of
Ultimate
like,
good guy.
can you think of good guys that people just like continuously love to see until it never had to become a bet? Well, Rey Mysterio too. Because I'm thinking like, who are just good guys that like everybody just loves, like no matter what? Because at some point we get tired of seeing the good guy.
Hmm.
And like I said, we got John Cena, we got Rey Mysterio. Um, I can't think of nobody else.
John Cena, Rey Mysterio, an ultimate good guy?
Yeah, Kofi
Wow.
for a long time until this run.
Yeah. Yeah, Kobe was. I'm really not sure. All of the good guys now, at some point, they were bad guys.
Exactly.
Like,
Like there's no
yeah,
good guy that like stayed a good guy and that didn't get boring, except for those two.
that is true. That is true. Because Hogan did get after a while. You got kind of bored with it.
And then when
Which
he
is
went
why I
to
believe later,
yeah,
WCW, he went to
yeah,
Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And that was his edge. And everybody ate it up. Like,
exactly.
I believe that, and I think that that's coming out of him now. Now that it's been a year, of him being champion, that edge, that arrogancy is starting to come out of him. Like, yeah, I'm the champ. You can't beat me. That's starting to come out of him now. I believe it started happening after his match with Gunther when he won at Crown Jewel. I believe that's when it really set in that I just beat the Reign General, the person that if people say is unbeatable. Yeah, I'm that guy. So I'm loving that. But as far as Jay goes, I can't wait to see what this is going to be. I'm not gonna lie. I'm tired of seeing him just get beat up. It's like, man, did you at least, as Gunther was jumping on him this past Monday, I'm like, did you at least pinch him? Like, you just let him just jump on you? Now, I ain't gonna lie. Gunther did come out of nowhere in the middle of him yeeting on the announce table and just sweep him. Like, but he did tell him, if you choose me, I'm going to make the weeks leading up to WrestleMania hell for you. And he's standing on what he meant. Like, but dang, Jay, kick him something. Jeez.
And while we're on the topic of character, let's talk about what we talked about last night. Or yeah, either it was Friday or last night.
Mm-hmm.
Carmelo Hayes ain't got no character.
oh
He is
man, I
bland.
love him.
He is
I like
bland.
him.
Like he's phenomenal in the
Mellow,
ring. Great in the
Mellow
ring.
don't miss.
No character whatsoever. No type of aura. Other than annoying. Like that's it's not even a
Yeah,
good annoying. It's not like a Chad Gable annoying. It's just a
annoying little brother.
annoying. Like him and Trick have the same problem. I think that they don't believe what they're saying, so we not gonna believe what they saying. I
Hmm.
think that's their problem
Okay.
because they're solid in the ring. I got to give them that, but their character they need something. They need to believe what they're saying. Like
Yeah.
LA Knight, you can tell he believes what he's saying. Plus, he's
Facts.
had more time than them, and then that might be the other thing. They need time to get the wheels going because I want to say that they may be. I think Trick and Carmelo are either a year younger than me and a year older than me. So
Mhm.
like one might be 31, one might be 28, 29. So that might be it. They
Hmm.
need time to get it together. But like, yeah, they ain't got no character.
I think it's just their promos because I love them in the ring. Carmelo is amazing in the ring. Trick is good in the ring. I think it's just like you said. It's just the sometimes the promos. It's kind of
Yeah,
cheesy.
yeah.
Like we get that's his line. I'm him. Mello
Like
don't miss. And then now it's kind of like I believe when he was in NXT, people took him more seriously, but now it's starting to become a punchline because he said it to Jimmy, and then Jimmy was like, oh, I don't miss, when he started, cracking jokes about that, and then it was this past Friday with R-Truth when he was saying, I'm him,
like
and he was saying, no, you're Carmelo Hayes, your
and
mama,
he,
they
and
be
he,
Carmelo.
and even with that, Truth had more character.
Truth
Cause
did,
like
and
you
its
could, he was like,
originality.
and it's like Carmelo was just reciting lines. Like, have some flavor, have some. I don't know. Believe what you saying. If you're gonna be irritated, be irritated.
If you really him, I'm gonna need you to really show that. I'm gonna need you
Exactly.
to really believe that and have that. You know who had that? Who believed that they were who they said they were, and this is going back to the Attitude Era. I don't know why he just popped in my head. Chris Jericho. Chris
Oh, for
Jericho
sure.
was amazing on that microphone, backstage promos, everything. When him, I am the Ayatollah of rock and roller. He believed everything he said,
Every
and
single
you
thing.
believed him when he said it. Like, man, I really believe that they just need some promo work. That's all. Like believing in your character. A lot of them don't. I don't know if they just going off of what the writers are saying. This is your script. This is what you're supposed to do. Kevin Nash just talked about that recently. And shout out to Kevin Nash. Love him. I feel like he's the underrated person in the NWO that everybody always want to look past. No, played a big part.
I ain't
And
gonna lie to you. I definitely do. I definitely be looking past. I'll be like, yeah, I didn't really care about.
I love me some Big Daddy Cool. Like he was to me next to Kevin Nash is the coolest one because he didn't have to say much. He just big. He just walking tall and he just chilling. I'm there when you need me, but right now I'm just kicking it. But he mentioned it in his podcast when he was talking about Jay and about him not going off of the script when he had that emotional moment after the Royal Rumble on Raw, the promo that he was cutting and how he was like, man, that makes me want to watch more. I want to know more. So I just think that they need that type of, like you said, believing in yourself, believing what you say and
And to
backing
a
this shit up.
degree, because I devour news and like stuff about wrestling, so like you do, and it's like I hear that like sometimes they don't get a script, sometimes they just get points and then they gotta run off the points.
Mhm.
So I think that they need to kind of lean into that just a little bit. And then even I was
Mhm.
watching No Contest wrestling O'Shea Jackson Jr.'s podcast. Um
Mhm.
and he was talking to Roxanne Perez and she was like sometimes you got to just go ahead and blurt something out because you might go blank while you're out there. So like some of the best stuff is when you know your character and when you know just go for it. Like
Yeah.
and that's what they need to do cuz they need something. They need none of their promos like I believe at all. They need like a shot in the arm of adrenaline, something.
Yeah, you're right about that one. Let's
So
see.
let's talk about your queen because I'm definitely gonna say your queen. Your queen decided on who she's going to fight.
She did. She did. Oh, Miss Tiffy Tiffy. It's how she did it. She didn't care. You know, you just got jumped on or whatever by Naya. I'm gonna come out here in my chair. And I'm gonna come out slow too. My entire entrance. And I'm gonna sit and cross my legs. And make sure, are you conscious? Because I want you to hear this. The queen chooses you. Oh, oh, I didn't see it coming. I did not. I really thought that she was going to choose Rhea just because of the history. And like I said, I love a three-peat. I feel like a three-peat is kind of the nail in the coffin to a story. And with Rhea having more experience under her belt now and the dominant reign she had in 2023, I really believe that, um, Charlotte would have picked her. So for Charlotte to pick Tiffy, it's like, wow, okay. I was for sure thinking that we were going to get a Charlotte Naya. Like I feel like Naya really didn't get her revenge on Tiffy. So I thought that was going to happen. But man, to have this up and coming star versus Charlotte, the moment she said, I pick you, I pictured it in my head. The moves that Charlotte brings to the table, her skill set, her acrobats, all of that. Tiffy has that as well. She's just younger. So to see them match up, man, this is going to be one hell of a match. And I can't wait to see it.
Now the question is she going over at WrestleMania? Who's
Ooh.
going over? Is Tiffy going to take the title and this should because it's Charlotte elevate her, or is Charlotte going to take the title?
I don't
Because
know.
it's
I
like
feel like
you're not ready yet, kid, and then now Tiffy has to fight to get the title back.
I'm not sure. I feel like Charlotte did it once with Rhea. It could happen. Um, but like you said, I really believe that Tiffy has a lot to prove to Charlotte. Charlotte gave Rhea a lot in that match, and Rhea really has to prove herself that I'm worthy to pretty much take the throne. I'm ready to carry this. And Tiffy's only been champ, for a couple of weeks. So
Yeah, about
beating
2 months.
Nia is one thing, but beating what is she now?
Basically, a
15?
living legend. Oh yeah,
14.
14, 15.
A 14-time women's champion. That right there is phenomenal. There's no one in history that has that many accolades under their belt besides Charlotte, which is why she is the queen. So she definitely has a lot to prove to her. I'm not sure because Charlotte is just returning. So are you ready to return? Because when Charlotte gave the belt I don't want to say gave it. When Charlotte pretty much handed the crown to Rhea, it was a break off of Charlotte. Now I can relax. I can sit back. You take the reins. You run the women's division. You do your thing. But now Charlotte's returning. See, this is not me leaving and taking a little vacation and getting some me time. Now I'm back up in this and I'm ready to reclaim my spot. So I have to think: is she gonna do that? Like I don't know, man. Like it's Wrestlemania. This is her stomping ground. So
Right.
Tiffy is definitely in for a treat. Like I'm really not sure. And you have an ally on your side, someone that Charlotte has beaten. Trish Stratus. Okay? I wanna say the head of this whole women's division. I mean, she is. She created it. She's the mother.
More or
I mean,
less.
Charlotte could be the queen. Trish is the mother. So
That's true.
yeah,
That is true. So we gonna see. And speaking and staying on the topic of women, Michelle McCool has been I want to say introduced into the Hall of Fame. She's going to be the second
inducted.
inducted. There we go. Inducted
Hmm.
into the WWE Hall of Fame. And I
She
think
has.
that she absolutely deserves it.
You know what? I'm still trying to let that settle. When I seen it yesterday for the first time, I was just scrolling online and I seen it. I said, huh. I really didn't know. I didn't feel excited. I didn't feel upset. I just didn't know how to feel about it.
Okay, let me make the case for it. So,
Hmm.
you said that Trish is the mother of the
Yeah.
women's division. During the period of, her until about 2010, yeah,
Hmm.
let's say about 2009, 2010, it was Mickey James and her. When I consider women's wrestling for what WWE was back then, it was
Hmm.
Mickey James, it was her.
Hmm.
That's it. Everybody, well, and Layla. Everybody else was just a model who could do a couple bumps. So I would be like, Michelle McCool can wrestle, Mickey James can wrestle. So her
Hmm.
getting it, I'm cool with it because she is what defined for that era, the Divas era. That's what I think of the wrestlers. I think it's Mickey James and it's
Okay.
her.
Okay. I give you that. I'll give you that. She is one hell of a wrestler. I had to think back on that during her Lake Cool, scene. The feud between Layla and Michelle, and Mickey James, and even with Vicky Guerrero on their side. That definitely was a time that women's wrestling, you're right, it wasn't being taken seriously.
At
Still,
all.
it was
At
just
all.
little cutesy little matches, but she was actually out there. She could fight.
Yeah, because
Um,
when she did the Styles Clash, because I was watching TNA at the time and I saw AJ Styles do it. I'm like, oh, she did the Styles Clash. Oh, she's wrestling. Oh, I'm hitching my horse to that.
yeah, yeah, you're right. Michelle is she's a great competitor in the ring. She was great on the mic. I liked her as a mean girl. She could either be sweet as pie, I remember when she even debuted, when she came in the Diva Search. I'm like, oh, look at her little cute little country self. I always thought, she was adorable. When she became a heel, it was like, whoa, she's playing this role. I never expected her to be able to pull this off, but she's doing it. So, okay, we put it that way. Yeah. I didn't really, think about her in the ring when I thought about her being inducted into the Hall of Fame. But yeah, she does.
Yeah, she
I
earned
would
her
like
flowers.
to see. They might have Undertaker do it, but to me that's kind of cliche. I wouldn't want to see that. I would like to see Layla either induct her, or I would want to see Vicky Guerrero induct her.
Okay.
I would be cool with even Mickey James doing it, just because their feud was so iconic, and it was, at a time when I don't think it could happen now because we're in the no body shaming when they used to call her Picky James.
Yeah.
But I would think that would be cool
Yeah.
for that to happen. But I would
Th-
love to see Layla do it.
Did they
Huh?
did they put Mickey James in the Hall of Fame yet?
No.
That is criminal.
Yeah. Yeah. They have not. I don't know if it's. I don't want to say it's because Mickey is still active, but I'm not sure. I believe, I think sometimes they might ask them if they're ready. Sometimes they're not really, ready.
Because
And
if you
speak,
put Trish in it, you put Michelle McCool in it. Mickey James is a logical conclusion.
but I think that they can decide if they're ready to go in it yet. If they're like, no, not yet. I believe that's why Rock isn't in it yet. He's not ready.
That's true, and he basically owns the company at this point.
Right? He could have been in it. And speaking of that, the very first inductee into the 2025 Hall of Fame, none other than the cerebral assassin, the Game, the King of Kings, Triple H. Oh my God, I am so freaking excited for this. It is about damn time. Long overdue. I'm glad when he got inducted with DX a few years back, but for him to be in there by himself, it's like this is iconic, and especially during this era, this Paul Levesque era. Like he's running things, and now he's just been doing such a great job. He's not thinking of himself. So for them to say, you know what, it's time for us to acknowledge him. This is going to be amazing. It's going to be emotional. I don't know if they have like enough time to even like all the things he's done. You got to put all that into like one big clip. Like he's
Yeah,
done so much and been consistently active. Like,
completely an illustrious career in the ring,
man.
and then has clearly taken WWE beyond what it was. Because
Okay.
between the Netflix deal,
Mhm.
WrestleMania being wrestling literally becoming cool again, as they were saying.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, and it's all been under his regime, because the other guy got kicked out and he had to take the reins. So like, yeah,
Yep.
like this is something he's definitely earned.
I love it. I love to see it. I'm just trying to figure out who is going to be the one to induct him. Obvious
Obviously,
choice.
obviously, it's
Who
either
would you
going to be
say?
Stephanie or Sean.
Yeah. Yeah. Stephanie or Sean, definitely for sure. If it's both, that'd be great. Sean is an obvious choice because Triple H inducted Sean, and they're best friends. But Sean did not wasn't married to one of the most powerful women in the world, who was also his on-screen wife, which is why I believe that it should be Stephanie. And Stephanie's so emotional, so hopefully she can get through it. But I just think that that would be wonderful because they were a part of an era in itself with the McMahon Helmsley era. She has to be the one to be up there to talk about that. Like, because Sean, you're going to think that. Get up there, crack the jokes. I want to see her get up there and she starts talking or whatever. And I think that'll just be amazing. I can't wait until she's in it. Like, she definitely
She
deserves
has to
to
be.
be in
She
it.
definitely has to
She
be.
has to be. She has to be. But this is going to be amazing for him. Like, wow. I'm so happy for him for this. He deserves it. Most definitely deserves it. It's already shaping up to be a wonderful WrestleMania.
Yeah, yeah, and I gotta something I'll tell you off camera, but yeah, there's something special about this WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Um, so okay, let's get to this week. We both said that Raw didn't hit this week
it didn't. It
because
didn't.
I
It
can
brought me
barely.
back with the Logan Paul match at the end because I love
Right.
Logan Paul in the ring. However, I don't know who decided to change his entrance music and now he's supposed to be a thug. I don't know what's going on with that. They need to change it back. Like, I thought that the production truck messed up because I heard the Ayo and then something else started playing and I'm like, that's not his music. What is this? And then CM Punk was like, I don't know who was coming out. I didn't know whose music this was. We didn't either. We
At
didn't
all.
either, Punk. At all. Like, I was very shocked. Change his back, please. But overall, great match. Rey Mysterio was going to always put on a great match. There was times when I went back and analyzed the match that people were talking about that Logan Paul, I guess, freezed up. Um, and I think that just comes from lack of just being constant in the ring. He's probably just a little rusty or whatever, you know. But overall, I believe that it was a great match. But yeah, Raw definitely wasn't hitting like I thought it would. SmackDown was more lit to me,
And
which is rare. 'Cause,
and and to just touch on Raw real quick, the only thing I can honestly say I remember is the women's tag match, but that's just because Liv was in it.
hmm
Her and Io, they would definitely went off. Um, and then Logan Paul at the end because I do dig his finisher. I love his
Oh
finisher.
yeah.
That I don't think I've ever seen something like that before, but yeah, it definitely hit. I watched NXT. NXT was decent.
NXT
Uh,
was good. I'm mad I missed it. I saw clips of it and I was like, dang man, I should have been watching it. But I'll give it to NXT. NXT did real good this week.
my memory is shot, so I can't even remember.
It was the promo between Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, and
Right,
Oba.
right, 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 right,
Like,
right.
the I didn't know what was going on, and even though in the end it was supposed to be they were playing, trying to play Oba. If you look at Grayson's face and he picked up the NXT title,
And that
I don't
match
think
that
he
they
was
had,
playing.
and the match they had last night, definitely they wasn't playing.
Yeah, and I believe that's definitely going to get talked about, especially when Grayson hit that rolling stunner on Austin. And I get it was accidental, but he didn't seem too apologetic about it. So, and I don't even want to get into what happened after the match was over, because I'm not going to lie, it pissed me off. Like, first of all, is this the mysterious group that they were teasing? If so, take it back. Take it back. We don't want it. Because I was so upset when the lights hit. I'm just like, who's coming out? And in my head, I'm like, stop the family. They had nothing to do with this. Who's coming out? And then you see the guys, and they run in the ring. And as soon as they get to jumping over, and I look at the masks that they had on their faces, I said, if you don't get this T-Move version of Shield out of here, what is this? Is a disgrace. They owe Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose a check because this is just ridiculous. You guys just added one more person. Like, this is trash.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
I was very, very upset, very ticked off. I don't even have words. I really don't. Like, this is just outrageous to me.
and then going over to SmackDown. SmackDown was definitely fire.
Yeah,
Oh,
most definitely, most definitely. Um, we see that, Kevin Owens is still crazy, but you know what?
Kevin's not crazy. Kevin is absolutely right, and I'm going to say that with my whole chest every time we talk about it.
I
Kevin
know
is
you
right.
will. And I was going to agree with you. I was going to say Kevin is still crazy, but you know what? I ain't mad at Kevin. I'm really not. Sami Zayn, you brought this upon yourself. I understand what Sami is talking about. all because I didn't help you win a wrestling match. Come on now, Sammy. You know for a fact this was deeper than that. However, when you analyze the whole thing, in that same night, you watched Kevin get pummeled by Cody. Yes, you were there as a friend, and yes, you were yelling at the doctors to make sure Kevin's health, make sure he was okay. I get it. You were torn between Kevin and Cody in this match. But you saw what Cody did. And then for Cody to come back, rub it in his face, you could have got up and checked him. You could have did something, but you
Something.
didn't. But in the Royal Rumble, Roman's getting jumped on, and you're helping him up. You're getting the people off of him. What the hell is that? Like,
Like
what?
there's no way you could tell Kevin that he's wrong about at least feeling like you're choosing
Not at all.
the
Not at
bloodline
all.
over me. And we've been
Yeah,
friends longer. You know my kids. You probably their godfather.
yeah, pretty sure. And this is the second time he did it. This is the second time he chose Roman over him. You did it the first time, and then you had to get back in Kevin's good graces when you decided to leave the bloodline. Cool. Y'all won the tag titles last year, WrestleMania. No, the year before, and it was great. All of these things. You built your friendship back up. You got your brother back. And I would understood if he was like, you know what? You both are my friends, so I don't know who to choose. But it's the fact that he saw you help Roman later on without hesitation.
No hesitation.
He's right. You're dead wrong, and you're a horrible friend.
That's it. That's all.
That's it. That's
And
all.
and then so okay. So what are our picks for WrestleMania? So far, we know some of the people that's going to be in there. We know Jay and Gunther. We know Charlotte and
Mhm.
Tiffy.
Mhm.
Uh, who else do we think is going to be in there?
Hmm. Well, who is Rhea going to face? That's
Well,
the
that
big thing.
we got to look
It's
who's
like
all in the elimination chamber. Uh, who's qualified so far?
so far we have Bianca, we have Naomi, Liv Morgan. Um,
Right.
who else is in this? Because I believe we have more than. Oh my God, who else is in that match? Io's not in it, but I'm trying to remember who else was in that match. Is No, is Bailey in that? No, she's not.
No, Bailey's not in it. Bailey was too
Oh
busy
my
with other
God.
stuff.
Yeah, with NXT. Oh, it's a tip of my tongue, and I can't even remember who else is up in that. Bianca, Naomi, Liv,
So far, it's been Liv, Alexa Bliss. Bailey did get in.
Alexa Bliss. Who?
Bailey did get in. I don't remember when,
Okay.
but she got in. And Bianca
Yes.
Belair. So that's four people so far.
Yes. So tomorrow, I believe there should be another qualifying match,
Right, and then
or
Friday should be
Friday.
the last. Okay,
So,
so those four. And out of that list, it's not gonna be Bianca because whenever Jay get back, they gonna have a problem. So
exactly.
it can't be Bianca.
I don't want to see
Um
the lip. We already went through this with them. And I have a feeling they might try to pick her because Io's not in it, so I thought Io was going to have a good run or a good chance. I mean,
Alexa Bliss just got back, so I don't see her, you know, getting it. Plus she's on SmackDown.
plus, for some strange reason, if you remember the little clip, it showed Alexa, Nia Jax, Candice LeRae backstage on Friday, and that scene hit when the Wyatts kind of
Yeah.
came into the play. I believe Alexa is going to have some business
Yeah, to do
pertaining
with
to
them.
that. Yeah, so I really don't know who would face Rhea. That's why I thought it was going to be Charlotte. But I really don't know. Like you said, for a fact, you know it's not going to be Bianca or Naomi. Um, but then what if it is? I don't know. I mean, now they can't be a tag team in the Elimination Chamber. You have to face each other at some point.
Yeah,
When is Jade going to return? And who is she going to come after? Because they also involved Liv and Raquel in this on Friday when they showed that little video clip when Nick Aldis showed it to them. So,
yeah,
and it looked like they were the ones
that did it.
involved in this, if they did it or not. And I know you and I were going back and forth about that. And at first I'm thinking, well, where's Naomi? Well, Naomi was next to the ambulance when it happened, or when I'm with everyone else, and Bianca was in her match.
Right.
So seeing them creep off to the side, what are you guys doing back there in the middle of this happening? So I don't I don't know. It's This is definitely giving me Attitude Era. Who ran over Stone Cold? Like, it's really giving me that, because it's like you don't know. Certain things can look like something and it's not. We all thought at the time when it happened, when Rikishi admitted to being the one to run over Stone Cold, that was just it. He said he did it for The Rock. He did it for their family. This whole, back then, the whole we're not gonna let the white man take over the company and we need to survive for hours and stuff like that. Whole time, that was a lie. Triple H was the mastermind behind all of that. But no one paid attention to Triple H because he was with Stephanie in the feud with Kurt Angle, and it was all of this other stuff that was going on. And when Austin returned to find out who did it, he told Austin, hey, remember what you told all of us, DTA, don't trust anybody. So you still didn't think anything about it until it happened and he came out there and he attacked him. So
Right. I could
I
see. I think
I
I
don't
could
know.
see Rhea and Bailey because Bailey technically is on Raw,
Mhm.
and from what I remember, they ain't met yet in the match.
No. No. No, they haven't. They've had a respect for each other, but they've never met in a match. Yeah, because
And
they've always been on different brands too. So
Bailey been on a tear on both shows for the time that she was on SmackDown. Then she went to NXT to have this whole beef with Roxanne Perez. So
that is
I
true.
could see Rhea and Bailey at Mania.
I would like that match. Those are two of my favorites. I would like that match. I think it'd be pretty good. The crowd loves Bailey and they love Rhea. But it's two good guys going against each other, which is
You could,
cool. Rhea's not a bad guy.
you could, you
She
could,
was when she
you
was
could
with the
make,
Judgment Day.
you could punch Rhea's ticket to be a villain. You could, because
How?
she's it have to be something along the lines of like she's the villain we love, like that. It has to be something like that. Like if she, I don't know, because I can't,
She did
I
do
don't know who
that.
else.
She did that within the Judgment Day when everyone was just jumping on, and the fans did that, jumping on the bandwagon of Mommy,
Right.
and made her into the bad guy that we loved, that we fell in love with. But with the whole angle with Liv and Dom, in some way, Rhea became the victim. And then she became the ultimate, we just want to see her win, and Mommy doesn't deserve this. Bailey was a bad guy. But then EO became the bad guy, so then, Bailey became the face, because they pretty much were trying to boot Bailey out, and people start to love Bailey again. So I'm not sure. This is one of those matches where I'm just like, it's up in the air. Like, it'll have to be somebody else coming in from the past or something, because we still don't know who's going to be the next person to be in the chamber. Like, because honestly speaking, I don't see it being any of them. I don't, besides Liv, I don't see it being any of them. Liv is an obvious choice, but I don't want to see that match again. We already seen it. If I'm going to see a Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, this needs to end, and it needs to be in the cage. It
Okay,
needs to
so
be in a brutal match.
So I went and looked up like what's the matches and who has already made it.
Mhm.
And so far for the women's, it's been Liv, it's Bianca, it's Alexa Bliss, Bailey, Naomi, and then to be determined between Roxanne Perez or Raquel Rodriguez. Now, if it's Roxanne Perez, which I am wholly pushing for, I think that will be a better match than literally anybody else on this list. Unless Bianca decides to be a heel. Because
I
Roxanne is
agree.
already a heel. So
I agree.
going up against Rhea, that easily could do it.
I agree. She's not winning it, but I agree.
If she
Like,
did, I wouldn't be mad at it.
I would definitely be mad at it. Roxanne, sit your little behind down somewhere. You are not nowhere near
I know you feel
matched
like she
up.
just got here, but I've watched her matches. The girl is good.
I've watched her matches too. I think Roxanne is amazing in NXT. Stay over there on your show. You were not going to come over here into mommy's world and think you're just going to take the title. No, sit down before she, uh, pins you. So I don't, I don't know. I'm still upset at the fact that where the heck is Jade? I was really hoping for the mystery person, like, oh, well, for this last qualifying match. Oh, okay, now I'm in the cell with you, Naomi and Bianca. We finna settle this because I know what happened and I know who did it, and y'all can keep playing. So I really thought it was going to be that because at this point, that's the next pay per view, and it's like we haven't seen not a glimpse of her since last year. What
Maybe
is
they're saving
happening
her
right
for
now?
Mania for whatever reason.
I don't get it. No, I don't want her to be saved for Mania. Like, they need to start figuring this out. Like, I'm
They
getting
do.
very upset. The same with Randy. Like, what is happening right now? Like,
Well, I'm glad you brought up Randy because the men on the other side is John Cena, CM Punk,
mhm,
Drew
mhm,
McIntyre, Logan
mhm,
Paul, Damian
uh-huh.
Priest, which I was wholly pissed at because why are you back in the world title picture? I
You know
didn't buy
what?
you as the world champion. I wouldn't buy you as the United States, at the undisputed champion. I wouldn't even buy you at the United States champion. I
Oh,
don't necessarily
really?
like him. I like his ring work, sure, but his character, again, like with Trick and Carmelo, I don't believe that he believes what he be saying.
No, 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 no.
I'm from the streets. Nick, bro,
Okay.
bro.
But I believe in Damien. And I believe that Damien believes in Damien. I believe, especially after seeing Damien's documentary. When Damien first came into the scene and he was coming out there with his hands and walking down the aisle like he was Razor Ramon, I didn't like that Damien. I feel like that Damien is who the corporate, building was trying to create. Damien and the bloodline, in the Judgment Day was amazing. And to see him transition into becoming this leader and his in ring work, his mic work, his backstage work, all of that, I really saw growth in him. And when he came out there last year at WrestleMania and cashed in, when I tell you, when they counted 1, 2, 3, I screamed. I was so excited for him. Like, you did it. I was so happy for him to see his growth. And then even in the Judgment Day, I felt like he kind of outgrew them too. He did become the leader. Like, Rhea was looked at as the leader and Finn, but Damien slowly you started to believe him as being a leader. I did. And I love him as a character. I'm not gonna lie, since he's been out of the Judgment Day and him not with Rhea, eh, I'm
I,
kinda about
I'm
it.
not I'm not sold on him. I'm just not.
Really?
I wasn't sold on him with his world championship run. I'm just not sold on him. I don't. He seems bland to me. Like I don't know. I don't know. I okay. Clearly, when I watch a wrestler, I like whatever their character is, what they're pushing for, like what.
Mhm.
And it seemed like he kind of all over the place, and then his promo work, it's not bad, but again, it feels like he don't believe what he's saying, like everybody else that I named. So it's like
Hmm.
maybe I need to watch his come up, and maybe I'll
For
have an
sure.
appreciation for him because again, I appreciate him as a wrestler, as what he does. He's definitely fire, but it, like character work wise, don't really buy it. But
Hmm.
the to be determined is Seth Rollins or Finn. Now, out of that match, I could see Seth because they made too much of a deal about what he did to Roman at Royal Rumble. So I could see him
This
getting
is
into the
true.
chamber.
This is true. But I don't.
You
I
see
don't.
Finn going in there?
Yeah, I do.
I explained it to
I
him.
feel like Finn has been held back a lot since his feud with Damien. I believe Finn is a phenomenal in-ring performer. He's great
Yeah,
on the mic. And I felt like when he was in the Judgment Day, it really helped the other newcomer superstars build them up, and it was great.
right.
But this version of the Judgment Day, I believe, is beneath Finn. Not saying I love Liv, I love it, but it's kind of like JD's gone, your tag team partner is gone. Right
Yeah,
now, I believe that it's time for Dom to have a solo run. Him and Liv together, I love it. Um, Carlito was just there,
Carlito. Yeah, Carlito is just there, but I kind of want him
literally.
if they all split up. I want him to go with Dominic.
I would like him to go with Dominic. Carlito reminds me of the Puerto Rican version of a R-Truth.
Yeah,
But I I would like to see, what Finn can bring to the table, and I believe that Finn hasn't really gotten that big opportunity to really get to the dance and be in like a really, really big match with all these heavy hitters. And I
that's
really
true.
want to see. I feel like he deserves it. Seth has been there. Hell, Seth is that. Seth and Roman have unsettled beef. Obviously, Roman is not going to be in the title hunt at WrestleMania. Clearly,
But we also got to
but
consider the shows that they own. Just because Seth or Finn get into the match doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to win the thing because it has to be somebody from SmackDown or like you're hoping it could be John Cena. That way we get him and Cody.
you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, you know how certain people, and we've seen this happen in the past, that even if you're not involved in the match, they still have made their way inside that chamber to screw someone out of their
Yeah,
title.
absolutely.
Who have we not seen also since Royal Rumble? It took a minute. We didn't see him since the Raw Netflix debut, and then we saw him at Royal Rumble, and now we don't see him again.
Okay, who? Oh, John Roman.
Yes, Roman was so confused after all of
Oh
that
yeah.
happened that he was just
Uh,
like, you stumped me twice, but he left out of there. It was like, what the heck just happened? Because, as I said before, Roman's not thinking about Seth. He hasn't been. He's been, I'm trying to get my Ula Fala back, and I'm trying to make my way back to the top. Seth has been so determined, he can't do it back. He can't get it back. He can't get his power back. And so obsessed with Roman that now Roman's like, you know what? I wasn't thinking about you, but now I'm thinking about you because you're the reason why I'm not there right now and I'm out of action because you stumped me. And you think that
oh,
you're about to be on your way? Oh yeah, go ahead and get in that chamber. Just like how Shawn Michaels screwed Undertaker when he wanted that match against Undertaker at WrestleMania, and Undertaker wouldn't give it to him, and he got himself into that match and screwed him out of his championship. Now you gotta face me at WrestleMania, and I believe that's what's going to happen.
now honestly, that is definitely going to be one of the matches at WrestleMania for sure. It's going to be
Oh yeah,
CM Punk, it's going to be Seth, and it's going to be Roman. It's going to be those three in a triple threat match. I'm calling that
I don't,
now for sure.
I don't know. You know what's crazy is I wouldn't even though I believe that would be completely amazing. I don't want to see a triple threat. I really want Roman and him to go at it because now this is so personal between these two old brothers. I would like to see CM Punk in it, but I'm just so focused on this Roman and Seth match because it's so deep, and I feel like it only got addressed that one time when Roman was on top, and now Roman is just at this place right now where I'm just trying to you know, get back to the mountaintop, get back to the island of relevancy, and here you are. I'm not even thinking about you, but you're so obsessed with me. And again, like Sammy said, um, you created this monster, but you're trying to act like Roman is just this bad guy. And I believe in this situation, Seth is going to become the villain only because I've seen that when that was happening, who was in the background listening and scoping, carrying. I believe in
Yeah,
some way he's going to get in Seth's head a little more. I believe that Seth is going to become the ultimate bad guy in this sense, and Roman's going to be the babyface. But I really want to see this match. I really believe that this WrestleMania 41 is going to be about revenge for a lot of people. It's definitely going to be about revenge.
yeah, I could definitely see that
Like, it don't,
because
there's no other way.
Kevin and Sammy definitely are going to have their match at WrestleMania. That's definitely going to be a revenge angle. All right, so we talked about who's going to be at Mania,
Yep.
everything that happened the past week. So how we going in this? How we going out? What thoughts are we having?
You know where my head is at right now? Paul Heyman owes CM Punk a favor.
He does. Does that favor get
Where is
used?
that going to come into play? CM Punk, his main goal since being back is I've done everything in this business. Everything. But I've never made a bit of the WrestleMania. I need that. I'm grasping for that. That was taken away from me last year by Drew McIntyre. I handled him for an entire year. I'm done with that. Now I didn't get to win the Royal Rumble. Okay, cool. But I qualified to be in the Elimination Chamber. And I've won that multiple times. So you know what? I'm more of a vet in this standpoint, in this Elimination Chamber. So I'm going in like I'm gonna win it. And if I don't, I have a favor in my back pocket. But how is that gonna play out with Roman? Because Roman still don't know what this favor is.
Now, to get away from the favor just a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk did point out something.
What?
The fact that John Cena didn't earn his spot in the Elimination Chamber. He basically forced his way in.
He did.
And the fact that John Cena, we've never seen him do that before. What if,
Yeah,
and
John did.
this is talking
Yeah.
past Mania,
Uh
John
huh.
Cena is doing a heel run for his last year.
You know what? I can, I can mess with that. I can mess with that, and I'm cool with that. And you know why I'm cool with that? Because the post-show interview that he gave at that press conference after Royal Rumble was personal. He was talking like he hasn't talked in a while. It was more so of he knows what he's been doing, as far as the last few years of his career, helping other superstars get over, passing up the torch, helping you, helping you. I haven't won a match since then. And now it's getting to a point where, hold on, I'm effing John Cena. I'm a 16-time world champion. Do y'all know who y'all dealing with right now? And I don't think y'all know who y'all dealing with because I've been playing nice for a very long time. But now it's time to get serious. What's best for business is if I win and become a record breaking 17-time world champion because that's unheard of. So that's what's best for business. And I'm a businessman. I'm not about to sit here and try to help some superstars get over. I would definitely mess with him becoming a heel because we haven't seen it and because he's been through so much of just trying to please the people, please the company. It's like, come on, man, do y'all know that's me? I did that. I held this company down and held it for 10 years. Like, stop playing. 10 years consecutive. Who's done that? Consecutive. Because even Stone Cold took a break. Even Rock took a break. I've been here consistently. And it's time for me to show y'all who y'all dealing with, who I am. And I would definitely be on board with him, choo choo choo, winning. And definitely just just bringing something new. Like everybody been wanting him to have this heel run. He was an amazing heel,
And
but
do
he
you
didn't.
think that's what's linking up? That's he's going to link up with Cody. That is going to be the whole thing with like I won the elimination chamber and now I'm the heel and I'm going to take the belt from Cody, who is the company babyface.
Huh. And you know what? When I look at Cody being the company babyface, I know I've said before that he's in his Hogan era, but in all honesty, he's kind of mimicking in his John Cena era. I believe that's where he is. Like, like I said, out there, don't give up, and that whole scenario, and he's a fan favorite, and that whole thing. I'm cool with that because the traditional thing is passing the torch. Well, John been doing that, and I'm pretty sure he's tired of doing that. So it's like, nah, I'm coming for what's rightfully mine, and I'm going to take it. Um, I'm cool with that. I didn't think you were going to take it there, like putting out there he could become a heel. I thought you were going to go with him and CM Punk possibly having that feud again. But you know what? I will be cool with the roles being reversed because people naturally would think that CM Punk will be the villain in that, but never expect it to be John. And to me, that's kind of a cold way to go out. You still gonna get your standing ovation regardless, but to go out right now as a heel, this is the era of, like I said, of revenge. I feel like this WrestleMania 41 is the WrestleMania of revenge. I'm coming back. I'm taking what's mine by any means necessary. That's what I'm seeing. And you seeing too many over this past year. You saw so many people switch in all the shows. And Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, like betrayals and all of this just happening like left and right. And I feel like that's what we coming up on, and I love it because being a villain is so much more fun.
It is.
Yes.
So, with that being said, that is the end of our second episode. Thank you for watching.
I
This
was
has
gonna
been
say the last.
LCW.
We just getting started. What you
maybe
mean?
maybe the last using this thing.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Bear with us. Bear with us. It's just
But yeah.
episode 2.
So thank you. This has been LCW Lights Camera Wrestling. We'll see y'all later.
Bye bye.